Okay, good morning and happy new year. Here is uh, drawing number 15, and I'm quickly going to go through how to dimension this one with you, just so you can see how this is done. We've already gone over dimensioning practices and things like that. You probably already have a sheet, like a little cheat sheet given to you from me about dimensioning rules and practices and stuff like that. So here's going to be a quick crash course in dimensioning with AutoCAD. We've already gone through and adjusted our dim style settings, so everything should be set on this drawing for us. Um, I can see I have my center marks and everything else is already in place for me. So to start with, I space these out a little bit more. As you can see, they may look a little bit different on than yours. I moved mine over an inch and a half. All right, so I wanted to have a little bit more room so I can place my dimensions in here. Remember, as a general rule of thumb, we don't dimension in this area here. We try not to dimension underneath. We try and keep everything in between the views is what we want. So everything in this general area over here, in between these views, not outside or on the exterior, if we can avoid it. All right, as a last resort, sometimes we have to go over here, or we have to go over over here is sometimes the spot we need to go, or underneath. But we generally are not going up on top. All right, so first, I always start with my front view. It's the biggest view, and I start with usually my overall first. So I'm going to go from here to here. If you noticed, I chose linear, okay, instead of using like the little smart dimension tool or quick dimension, uh, because I want it to find I'm going in a perfectly straight line. Sometimes when you pick this one, it gets a little goofy and it tries to guess at what you're picking. All right, I'm going to do a stacked dimension here for the next one because I need to know my overall. And also what I need to know is I need to know the distance from here and from down over here. Now it's important that when you choose that, why I'm choosing linear, because if I were to choose, for example, go to linear and say, well, from here to here, as you can see, what it does is it drags an extension line all over on top of um, my solid edge line or my visible line here, which I don't want. I don't want a big red line there. So I want it to stay linear, but I want to go from here to here. Okay, and I want to keep those terminators, those arrowheads on the inside. I'm going to go like that. Next one I need from here to here. So that's why I'm stacking this one, making sure I keep them all aligned. And there, I don't need this one because if I were to put one here, that would be redundant because I can do the math to figure out what this leftover space is. Go over here, my right side view, same thing. I'm going to get overall first, overall dimensions for here to here. I'm going to try and keep these in a line. So those are all lined up and neat. And then I'm going to do another one from here down to here. And it's going to extend all the way out. I want this one kind of sort of in the middle here. This. Then I need some stack dimensions down here as well. I'm going to do here to here. Keep this one right about there. It looks kind of goofy with it inside there, but that's okay. We could go and shrink these arrowheads to make it look a little bit better if we wanted to, but not necessary. And then I need to know from here to here. Again, I'm going to lock in using my object snaps right there to make sure they all stay nice and neat in a perfectly straight line and organized. Now I'm going to go up here my top view, what I need. And remember, we discussed this, I'm sure, before, but we're only putting dimensions on that we need. Enough dimensions in order to the user, who would be you, if you had to draw this, that you could figure out how to draw this without having to do too much math. I usually tell people a rule of thumb, I shouldn't have to do 2 or 3 math problems to figure out a dimension. I should only have to do one. So here's a pretty good example. All I have to do is subtract from right here to figure this out if I couldn't tell that this was symmetrical. You know, you shouldn't be doing four math equations in your head to try and figure out what a dimension is. Next one, I'm going to go. I need to know this center point on here, and I'm going to use those center marks that I already put down on there, and I'm going to go from right here do right here, and just go off of that one like this. Then I'm going to go from here to here, that one like that. Now I need to know the sizes of these holes. The biggest mistake you can make is put a dimension down here like this. That is incorrect. Number one, because you never, ever, ever dimension to a hidden line. Okay, that's why it's hidden. You only dimension to edges, solid lines, and to get datums off of. So up here, what I'm going to do is I want to do a diameter of this whole entire circle here. So I'm going to click on it. It's going to put my leader on there. I'm going to stretch and put that leader over here so it almost kind of lines up with this one. Next, I need this arc, all right, or this curve. And you could put a dimension on here, a linear one like this. But as you can see, I start getting really busy over here, and dimensions start running into each other. So what I can do instead is I can do a radius dimension from right here and place this one almost the same. If I don't like that that's stacked like that, I can always take this and move this over like that to make that look a little bit better. Leader lines and arrows always point right smack dab to the perfect center of that circle. Okay? That should be about it. Oops. Zoom here. That is a fully dimensioned, properly dimensioned drawing for number 15 with our dim style setting.